Rain pelting the Bay Area. Drivers are having a lot of trouble fighting through the water on the roads. Parts of the Bay Area now under a flash flood warning, and winds are so strong trees don't stand a chance. It's the biggest storm we've seen in years.
And here's a look at our high-def Doppler. You can see the storm zeroing in on the Bay Area. The wet weather is not over yet.
Several inches of standing water in the North Bay, where it has been coming down since last night. We'll give you some of the totals.
And on Quito and San Jose, we've got trees down, we've got significant flooding. The storm of the decade is walloping the South Bay.
The news at noon is coming up next.
Live from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
The strongest Pacific storm in years slams into the Bay Area, and this storm packing winds so strong, trees topple over. This one crushing an SUV and damaging a home in the South Bay.
And rainfall so heavy that roads turn into rivers. Drivers had no chance against a torrent of rain and storm runoff. Hi, everyone, and good afternoon. I'm Frank Malica.
And I'm Michelle Griego. Let's get right into our storm coverage. We have crews all over the Bay Area assessing the fallout from this storm. Kit Doe is in San Jose, where a tree has crushed a car, and Makovic is in Novato, where the streets are just submerged. Chief Meteorologist Paul Diano is here looking at our storm totals. Plus, Roberta in the Weather Center tracking this weather system on the high-def Doppler. Roberta?
Currently, we are looking at rainfall totals all the way up to nearly 9 full inches in Venado. Take a look at Santa Rosa, Oakland approaching 1.5 inches, and over 0.8 of an inch of rain in the San Jose area. And guess what? It's still raining. We have moderate to heavy downpours at this particular time, zero in right now across the Santa Clara Valley, and it will continue to rain hard there at least for the next couple of hours. East Bay, it's been raining there for 4 straight hours now. We're seeing the rainfall totals stack up there as well, and we still have heavy rain to come at least for the next several hours. We're going to walk you through this storm and when it's going to be out of here. That's still straight ahead, but the rain's been only part of the story. The wind's the other half. Here's Chief Meteorologist Paul Diano.
And Roberta, you're exactly right. It's a two-pronged attack from Mother Nature today. The rain, which Roberta just talked about. Let's also talk about the wind. It has been significant around the Bay Area. Rainfall thus far, if we can switch over to our other weather computer, that would be great. That's the rainfall totals from 4 to 9 inches. These are your peak wind gusts. Look at Mount Hamilton. At the top of the mountain there at 4,000 feet, 83 mile per hour wind gust. Woodacre, which is up by Mount Tam, 71 miles per hour. Mount Diablo, the Los Gatos Hills, Calaveras Road, and Los Altos Hills, all high elevation locations, exceeded 60 miles per hour with the peak wind gust this morning. Now we look at what's going on in other parts of the Bay Area, down more toward the urban areas, and they had significant winds as well. If you're watching us in Mill Valley, your wind peaked this morning at 57 miles per hour. Berkeley, 51 miles per hour. In excess of 40 miles per hour for Livermore, San Jose, and Richmond. And Walnut Creek, a peak wind gust this morning of 37 miles per hour. So flooding rainfall, but also damaging wind. The wind is relaxing, but Roberta will have more on the rain moving in because there's more coming. That's in a few minutes.
All right, Paul, thanks much. Heavy rain causing extensive flooding in the North Bay. KPIX 5's Ann Makovic joins us from Nevada, where sidewalks and streets, well, they're all underwater. Ann?
About a half an hour ago, I was saying it was about to let up here in Nevada, but it has just picked up again. And you can see I'm standing right now in several inches of water here on a sidewalk, even more in the roadway. It has just been coming down so hard for so long. They need a break. The rain has been falling steadily since last night, flooding several streets near downtown Nevada. There's so much standing water in the parking lot of this hardware store, they weren't able to open this morning, instead focusing on pumping out the water and cleaning up the store.
I don't ever remember it flooding here without it being like a tidal issue and a bunch of rain.
But this morning, the tides were not at play, just unrelenting rain. City workers tried to play catch-up, unclogging storm drains of leaves and dirt. This log is normally used in this parking lot as a no parking sign. Now that it's floating in about a foot of standing water, I think its message is self-explanatory.
There's just nowhere for all the rain to go.
This hardware store is advertising generators for sale, but with scattered power outages, that might not be the case for long.
I have 4 right now, 4 left.
Many businesses and homes have sandbags at the ready. Over the past day and a half, the city has given out more than 4,000, an unprecedented amount in such a short time. And the Novato Creek is running high for mid-December, in some spots approaching its banks. Which is a welcome sight, obviously, for many reasons. It's just so early in the season. Live in Novato, Ann Makovic, KPIX 5.
So much rain and so fast. Check out this video sent in by a viewer in the Oakland Hills. The water just gushing down Broadway Terrace this morning. You almost worry about the water carrying away those parked cars. KPIX 5's Kit Doe is in San Jose right now, where cars are being diverted near southbound 280 because of flooding.
Yeah, we're live here at the southbound 280 at the approach to Highway 87. This is a known problem spot, and really this is the worst that we have ever seen it. They got the call at about 11 o'clock this morning that a car hit this thing at full speed. The engine flooded, it got stuck, and now they're having to reroute the traffic all the way around it. As you can see, folks are trying to sneak by it there, one lane at a time, and causing a major backup on 280 southbound. All right, on to a downed tree here. Winds and heavy rain have been bad news for the trees. This one went down on Boxwood at Monroe near the San Jose-Santa Clara border. The tree with a very thick trunk simply just uprooted, fell over onto an SUV and crushed it like it was aluminum foil. The homeowners were not there at the time. No injuries reported. Neighbors got a front row seat to the storm of the decade.
All I know is they had the tree pruned and everything else, and the sidewalk reworked this summer. Well, all I know is it's one big tree. It's kind of strange that it went down.
And this was the scene on the Alameda in San Jose, next to SAP Arena underneath the railroad bridge. San Jose forecasted to get as much as 4 inches. This is much of the water here that was flowing. The sewers couldn't even handle the flow, and the pressure of the water simply just pushed up a lot of the manhole covers. All right, back out here live on Highway 280. They did not get any estimated time of arrival from Caltrans, so we're still waiting for them to reopen, unopen the plugs out here on the drains and reopen this off-ramp onto 280 and 87. But for now, it is still stuck. It is still flooded out here. Be careful on the roads. We're live in San Jose. Kit Doe, KPIX 5.
Thank you, Kit. Walkway along the Embarcadero in San Francisco temporary closed today, all due to the storm. Water was flooding the sidewalk. There was also a concern about waves splashing over. And the heavy rain turned at least one stretch of Highway 1 into a small lake. Take a look. This is just west of 280 on the way to Pacifica. The storm drains overloaded. Workers had to clear out the drains before that road could finally reopen. How about traffic today?
Elizabeth Wanger joins us now with the latest.
I know. We've been kind of searching for some of the roughest commutes, and it's really all this flooding, mainly in South San Francisco. That's where drivers are really getting a beating right now. Take a look at this tweet from CHP in San Francisco saying nearly all lanes are flooded southbound 280 south of Westboro. And 101, unfortunately, is not a whole lot better approaching Oyster Point. Look at that. Huge backups for a while. In fact, the freeway was completely shut down in both directions. We're told drivers can get through now, but very, very slowly. Here's a live look at the Golden Gate Bridge. They actually have the 2 middle lanes blocked off as kind of a median, as sort of for safety reasons, because the winds are so strong on the Golden Gate Bridge. So just 2 lanes open now in each direction, northbound and southbound 101. And just a quick look at a closed off-ramp that's completely flooded right now in Novato. That is KCBS traffic. Frank, Michelle, back to you guys.
Elizabeth, thank you. A rough go for many drivers. Take a look. This is one of the best clips of video from the height of the storm. A driver in Daly City nearly carried away by floodwaters. This driver of the van was trying to go uphill but faced a rush of flowing water, and they were just fighting the current. The water pushed the van backwards and to avoid hitting that parked car. And getting around downtown Hillsburg in Sonoma County is next to impossible this afternoon. You can see from these viewer photos and video how deep the water is. It's turned Grove Street near City Hall into an impassable river of water. And in West Petaluma, winds from today's storm caused a pair of electrical wires to arc, set off sparks, as you see. This happened just after midnight on 7th Street near F Street. And today's storm has knocked out power to tens of thousands of customers all around the Bay Area. Here are the latest numbers from PG&E now. In San Francisco, a full 80,000 are still in the dark. In the East Bay, it's 10,000 plus 9,000 on the peninsula, 1,000 in the South Bay, and 3,600 in the North Bay. The KPIX weather app will help you get through this storm. You can check conditions in your area. Also get real-time radar. Just search KPIX in the App Store or Google Play. Well, our cameras are getting soaked right now. This is a live look from Rohnert Park. There's flooding around the Rancho Verde Mobile Home Park and Rohnert Park Expressway. Several other roads in the area are closed because of high waters. Just stay with KPIX 5 News at noon for all your storm coverage.
In the East Bay, heavy rain is flooding streets, causing trees to come down and knocking out power. We'll have all of that coming up in a live report.
That's exactly why we have a flash flood watch still in effect here in the Bay Area, and it continues to rain. We'll track this storm together as the news continues right here on KPIX 5.
A power outage in San Francisco this morning knocked out traffic signals on Van Ness Avenue. The outage affected thousands of customers from the Marina District to the Sunset. And now let's send it over to Da Lin, who's in Richmond with more on flooding and downed trees. Da?
Well, Michelle, rain has been very steady here in the East Bay since around 4 o'clock this morning. We noticed there are a lot of clogged storm drains causing these streets to flood. This is a good example right here in Richmond. You see the spot. It's about 5 to 6 inches right here that I'm buried in water right now. A 1-2 punch in the East Bay. Heavy rain and gusty winds knocked out power, flooded streets, and blew down trees. The CHP says around 3 this morning in Pinole, a large eucalyptus tree fell onto eastbound I-80. At one point, officers shut down all eastbound lanes so workers could chop it up and get it off the freeway. Public Works expects to see a lot of downed trees since previous storms already saturated the ground. This tree in Richmond just gave way. Some of the branches landed on a power line. And nearby at South 20th Street and Cutting Boulevard, a clogged storm drain flooded the street with about a foot of water. Many drivers didn't care and drove in the water, hoping it wouldn't kill their engines.
Yeah, there's a lot of standing water on the freeways, and that's pretty dangerous. But I've been lucky to avoid most of it.
Over in Berkeley, a power outage darkened traffic lights and homes along portions of Ashby Avenue. The heavy downpour made driving very difficult and even dangerous during the morning commute. The wipers couldn't keep up with the rain.
Too much raining, too much raining.
Too much raining, huh?
Too much raining, no sea in the road.
When you get the drivers on the other lane splashing towards you, I mean, you're blinded pretty much for like 2-3 seconds.
The good thing is most people stayed home this morning since traffic in the East Bay was fairly light. You can see at this intersection right here, this part is pretty much flooded. The deepest part, about 6 to 7 inches. The CHP is reminding drivers, if you don't have to get out of your house, stay home. But if you do, please slow down. Live in Richmond, I'm Da Lin, KPIX 5.
All right, Da, thanks. And the heavy rain also had an adverse impact in Richmond. This is the scene today at a house near the border with El Cerrito. What a mess. You can see the garage floor under about 6 inches of water. The family that lives there says they have had flooding like this before, but the water has never been quite this deep.
Oh, the rain comes so fast all at one time. This is what happens.
For 12 months, I've had everybody asking me, when's it going to rain? When's it going to rain? When's it going to rain? Now everybody's asking,
when's it going to stop? When's it going to stop?
That's all I've been hearing all day long. So let's get right to it. Right now, our high-def Doppler radars pick it up. Moderate to heavy rainfall still in and around our microclimates. Check this out. Can you see all the areas of yellow and orange and even red? Red picks up heavy precipitation at 1 inch and perhaps even 1.5 inches per hour. That's what's falling right now around the Bayview District into South San Francisco. And then check this out, east of the Bay for 4 straight hours it has been raining. It has been pouring. And this cell right here contains heavy rainfall. It has just pulled out of the Blackhawk area, making tracks towards the Altamont Pass. Meanwhile, we see plenty of orange right around the Mill Valley area. But good news here, when you see this, the shades of green, this is the back side of the frontal boundary that will continue to slice in a southerly direction. As it does so, we will see more of this green filter in, and that's the back side of this front right there. That's when we had the light rainfall, and that will continue into the evening hours. But nevertheless, this is the plume of moisture associated with this huge Pacific storm, and this plume is tapping into subtropical moisture, and that fetch goes all the way back to the Hawaiian Islands. So there's still a lot more rain out there that will be pushing onshore. Right now, our temperatures are in the 50s and low 60s. It's the winds that have been very problematic, up to 25 miles per hour in Pleasanton and in San Ramon, as well as in Vallejo. Redwood City at 24 mile per hour winds. We've seen stronger gusts as well, but upstream, what's notable, Santa Rosa, the wind is under 10. That shows you that's a good indication they are on the back side of that frontal boundary. We still have plenty of high wind warnings around the Bay Area for the damaging winds. They are likely. We've seen the downed trees. We've seen the downed power lines. And now what we're going to see is the rainfall falling down. And by the next, let's say, 24 hours from now until Friday at high noon, we're talking about 1.5 inches more. An accumulation around the peninsula. In Redwood City, we're talking over 1.5 inches. In Pleasanton, again, that's on top of what has already accumulated. Another 1/2 inch to the north in Ukiah, and nearly 2 full inches will still fall in San Jose. That's why we have a flash flood watch and warning in those green and red highlighted areas, and that does encompass most of the Bay Area. Now, we have that high surf advisory in place as well. That's because we've had some swells reporting to our buoys out there up to 25 feet. Now, from the surf to the mountains, winter storm warning in effect for the High Sierra, but it's a blizzard warning in effect for West Plumas County. We have 3 feet of snow above 7,500 feet, and right at lake level, about 6,000 feet, 6,200 feet, we have 12 inches of snow expected in the next 24 hours. By the time the sun goes down tonight at 4:51, we will have realized temperatures in the mid-60s. We do have that chance of a thunderstorm. Then we have scattered showers tomorrow morning, partial clearing in the afternoon hours, a chance of a thunderstorm. Yep, a dry weekend before we introduce yet more showers in the forecast with 3/4 of an inch of rain on Monday. That is our eye on the storm. Michelle and Frank?
Thanks, Roberta. Check out downtown Novato. It's been pouring there for hours now. Hard to tell where the sidewalk ends and the roadway begins. And you've been sending in some great pictures to us, too. Stay tuned. We're going to share some of those right after the break. Stay right there.
The heavy rains flooded streets in San Francisco. We found these cars flooded up to their wheels on California Street in the Richmond district. Clogged storm drains caused runoff to spill into the intersection.
And we'll be getting an up-close look at what the storm's been doing in your neighborhood as well.
Chief Meteorologist Paul Diano joins us from the Weather Center with our KPIX 5 viewer photos.
Yeah, a lot of photos coming in because, frankly, there is a lot of damage out there. A lot of cars are underwater. A lot of homes are dealing with flooding. A lot of trees have gone from this way to this way. And this is just a small sampling of what's going on. We'll take you to San Rafael first. Water levels reached the front grille of that truck. You remember National Weather Service says turn around, don't drown. People decked out in their rain gear trying to stay dry. Workers put up some flash flooding signs. Ironic picture. A lot of flash flooding at that same spot. Las Gamas and Oleander. Crews wading through ankle-deep water in the street to try to get their work done today. Social media casual carpool posted this picture showing the south of Market Streets in San Francisco completely flooded because of the heavy rainfall. And Jessica Mullins posted this picture in San Anselmo. You know that creek. It's right downtown. She says the creek is rising to critical levels. We have not gotten a flood warning on that. But bottom line, there's a lot of water. It all goes to specific locations. And those spots where the water collects, whether it be a creek or somebody's yard, there's too much in too many places right now. We want to see what's going on in your neighborhood. Head to kpix.com, scroll down on the right-hand side, look for the Share Your Photos part. You can upload your photos there. A lot of damage going on. This is a significant amount of water in a short amount of time.
And more to come, I guess, right?
It's still raining outside right now, yes.
Okay.
All right, Paul, thanks.
And we're going to take a look at 101 at Trimble in San Jose. Cars are moving slow as they wade through a ton of water out in the roadways. We are continuing to track the storm all over the Bay Area. Stay right there.
From the KPIX Weather Center, we do have our eye on the storm, and take a look at high-def Doppler radar where you see the yellow, the orange, and the red. That is moderate to heavy downfall. Right now in this area, we'll track the storm together.
And many schools were closed today because of the rain, but so far only the Nevada School District has canceled class tomorrow. We're going to update any more school closures. Check it out. Go to our website, kpix.com.
You can also go to our website for any updates as the day goes on, and also for live team coverage. Come back here, KPIX 5 News at 5.
And don't forget, if you get up nice and early, we're on a half hour early again. We'll be on at 4 o'clock. Keep you ahead of the storm tomorrow morning.
Yes, 4 o'clock.
And Paul's got a cot over there. He'll be here all night long.
Right back here.
Yeah, right, Paul, right? You're going home?
In a little bit, yes.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Stay dry.